Hi, my loves. Welcome to Live Talks, the channel where I talk about a lot of different things. And today is a very different subject. Let's see how you're going to deal with this. Mainly, I have a book club that I've been on for 2 years. It's a book club about spiritual awakening and Bitcoin. I love learning about all of these different subjects. Book of the month is The Three Waves of Volunteers by Dolores Cannon. Of course, my friend was immediately saying to me that I'm one of the waves of volunteers, the second wave, which I totally identify with. As I was listening to the 17 hours audiobook, oh my God. Dolores Cannon was a very famous hypnotherapist in the 70s and 80s. And she used to hypnotize a lot of people, and she developed a technique that would take people to not only past lives, but to their real lives, which were volunteers of different planets, different realities that came on this earth to help raise the vibration of the planet, because apparently Earth is an experiment that is not working that well. They needed to inject Earth with a whole bunch of high vibrational beings that volunteered from different sections of the universe to come here and be a contribution for the earth. Firstly, my mind immediately believed all this, but then parts of me were still, But then I remembered that I had a dream, not a dream, like a vision, many years ago. It was very similar to one of the cases that Dolores Cannon was sharing about. I want to share with you the story of this dream, because I'm also a storyteller. This is how it happened. I remember I was married. I was going through a lot of emotional turmoil at the time because I was in a very toxic, abusive marriage. I was just praying a lot to God, to the angels, to spirits. And in prayer, there's a point where you hit the nail on the head, you hit the wound on the bleeding part, and it just like opens up everything. I believe this is one of those days that I hit the wound, and at night I had a dream, a lucid dream, a revelation. There's a big difference between just a dream and a revelation, let me tell you that. So in this dream, I was walking on a pathway. It was made of wood, like a boardwalk, wide, like the walls of China. Very beautiful, long. I was walking for a long, long time. I remember even thinking, how is this even possible to have so much wood? Like the walls of China. Imagine all of that made of wood, which is pretty spectacular. I haven't been. Actually, to-do list. I was walking aimlessly, like didn't know what was happening. I looked down a little bit to this boardwalk, and there was earth plane. Earth was down there. Kind of if this boardwalk was on the level of a plane, hanging in the sky with no kind of structure. It wasn't like a building or anything. It was like higher than a building, lower than the universe in a way. I was walking and I looked down, earth is there, and everything feels very peaceful, very quiet. Then I reached the end of this boardwalk, which is like this huge round circle of wood again. I'm like, okay, I'm at the end. It's me, my body in a way, or my consciousness in a way. And then I hear this voice saying, look up. As I look up, there's this huge mountain that is triangular in the shape of a pyramid. It's so funny that I've been to Costa Rica now for 2 weeks, and I was at this volcano called the Arenal volcano, and it's similar. The shape is similar, so it felt like a volcano, but it was a pyramid in my dream. It's so funny how the volcano had these clouds enveloping it like a scarf around the neck. In my dream, this pyramid-shaped mountain, totally green, this very dense green, forest green, had a cloud around it like this, not like this, but all over it. The cloud was made of very fine, sparkly white diamonds, millions of diamonds. A cloud of diamonds, sparkly, beautiful, around this amazing mountain. I was looking at it astonished, like, wow, what a vision. Still just in admiration mode, not really trying to understand anything. But then this voice told me, look closer. It's like I could have binoculars on my eyes because this was very far away. Like I had to look up to see the top, you know. And suddenly my eyes could zoom in a way that like a camera can, not that my eyes could. I could see like a movement on this mountain, like from down to up, which was a whole bunch of like little trickling movements up. And I was trying to understand what kind of movements, what kind of thing was going on. It felt like ants were going up very fast. And then my eyes, my binocular eyes zoomed in again. I felt like I had superpowers. And there were people trying to go up this mountain. They were like rushing and rah, 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 like this, trying to grasp onto the earth and go up. Mind you, this was like a forest kind of mountain, so they were going through the trees and trying to climb the trees, trying to climb to the top of the mountain. And as soon as they would reach the top of the mountain, almost at the top, it felt very frustrating for all these people, honestly. The mountain would just crumble. And it would crumble this red dirt, mud, red. It would crumble and the person would just fall into death, oblivion, I don't know. But the people in the bottom didn't know this was happening, so they kept going up. A line of people trying to go up this mountain to the top and trying to grasp onto. There was really, like, from my vision, there was really nothing at the top that could justify this. Just reaching the top could justify this. It was like thousands, millions of people trying to go up, and the mountain would disintegrate. But immediately as the mountain disintegrated and there was a red patch, it would immediately become evergreen again. Trees would grow again. I remember being in this dream and thinking, wow, what is going on here? This voice, which I now know it's the voice of God because I've heard this voice many times. It's an inner voice, but it's a very powerful voice. It's a very certain voice. It's not my inner voice per se, but it's like a more, I recognize it as a more universal voice telling me, see, this is what most people do, yet you are here in this platform just to observe. And that's it. You're only here to observe. You get to observe this time. You don't have to be there trying to climb the mountain. You get to observe from this beautiful platform. You're welcome in a way. Like, I don't think it said you're welcome. That's my sarcastic self. But it kind of gave me the message of don't stress, don't sweat the small details. You're not here to climb the mountain. You're here to observe and just enjoy the view. In a way, the dream ended on that note. And in the morning, I woke up and I remember I've been having really bad emotional episodes in my life at that time. I was crying a lot. I was depressed. I was skinny. I was getting shingles all over me because at the time I was in such stress that even my body was telling me, in nervous system, like bubbles coming out from the bottom of my pain into the skin surface. And waking up that day after that dream, I woke up like not understanding exactly the magnitude of the dream in my head, the vision. Actually, let me put this dream on ChatGPT, see what it says. But what happened was, as I woke up, I felt this sense of peace, of somehow everything stood still in my life. Even though inside my head, inside my emotional body, I was suffering. That was one day of my life. It lasted from when I woke up to when I went to sleep. This immense feeling of peace. And this feeling of peace without me having done anything for it. I didn't meditate. I didn't went into a retreat. I didn't take any drugs. Nothing. I just had this dream. And the peace was so beautiful. I remember going to the beach and just knowing that everything I had done up until this moment in my life, all the right things, all the mistakes, everything, led me to this moment of me watching the waves. And that was perfect. Everything that would come after this would be perfect too. This was 2013. And no, I don't feel like everything has been perfect ever since. But in that still moment of my life. It was. All the past was perfect and all the future was perfect. The only other way I achieved this feeling of perfection at all was when I tried this frog poison called bufo on a medicine journey many, many years later, a few years ago. But this was a moment in my life that I didn't take anything, nothing. It was just the vision itself gave me this feeling. And I believe that this vision, now that I am reading this book, The Three Waves of Volunteer, gives me, because there's some volunteers from the second wave, they just come here to observe, and the presence itself is a blessing to the earth. You're welcome. Our mission is to come here and raise the awareness, raise the energy, the love, the light. We normally have tough lives. It's not always tough lives on the outside. Sometimes, in my case, it's not like I've been through war or anything that is comparable or had men RAPE me or had anything like a murder happen in my family. I had tragedies in my life on the normal scale of tragedies, nothing that deep. Yes, okay, I had a little bit of a neglected, messed up childhood, but nothing that I would say is like Oscar worthy. On my inside, I had a lot of difficulty understanding, accepting this world, and always this feeling of what the hell is going on, what am I here for, and what's happening. Now that I'm reading this book, I really feel like it's making sense. But from the making sense part of my brain is like, oh, okay, I hear this information, the volunteers, I connect it to a personal experience, my dream. I analyze it, cross-analyze it throughout my life. It makes full sense that I'm one of these volunteers. But does it become like an embodiment, a full awareness, a full remembrance? Yet, I'm not there yet. I know that there are moments in my life where I feel this sense of power of being me. But right now, even though all the information is clicking, there's not really like a full body, full cellular click on all of this. I will keep you posted because I'm still on page 70 of 500 and something pages. Some stories totally click with me. It's like, I get it. And some is like, So as I'm going in this journey of clicking, knowing that I'm a volunteer of this new earth and knowing what to do with it, because hello, universe, hello, if I am one of the volunteers and I'm here to raise the consciousness of the planet, knowing that today especially is the day that I entered my Uranus opposition in my birth chart, which means that things are here to be revealed to me shockingly. Changes, unexpected changes are here to really align me with my path. I'm willing and able, I hope, and open, and I hope that I make it this time. The volunteers come here to make it, to help the planet, and then we get to go to paradise of souls, of aliens. I don't know. I will keep telling you. Whenever I die, the technology will be very advanced, and I'll make a video, a YouTube video from the other side, telling you all about it. Yes, because that's kind of my mission, to tell you all about these things, because I love talking. Anyhow, thank you for listening. If you feel like you're one of the volunteers too, tell me so I don't feel like a crazy person alone here in the universe. And if you feel like, no, this is all bullshit, also tell me. Why not? Let's be free to express yourself. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, my loves.